Hello. It's... well, I don't know what the hell it is. It ain't the Friday talkie. We're on the wrong channel. But it is a talkie. But a different one, kind of. Actually, I haven't done talkies on this channel for a while. I'm taking a leaf out of several people's books, actually. Though maybe not in quite so much detail. What am I talking about? I'm talking about beer. Ha! Yeah, I'm not really going to do it's not a beer tasting review, it's just me drinking beer and talking. Why am I doing this? I'll tell you. Andrea came home from work today and she'd got me a little present, and it was a 4-pack of Asian beer. Now, what do I mean when I say Asian? Because that word seems to mean different things in different places, depending what country you're in. In America, if I understand correctly, Asian seems to mean Chinese, Japanese, Malaysian, and indeed if you look on Asian news on the TV, like they have an Asian spot on Sky News, it's talking about that neck of the woods. Where on British TV, Asian means seems to me, I haven't started drinking yet and I can't bloody talk, it seems to mean Indian and Pakistani and that neck of the woods. So I didn't know which kind of area was this talking about. And looking at the beers, it seems to mean both. There's some Japanese beer in there, there's some possibly Chinese beer, this is Indian. Yeah, I have got here Mongoose premium beer. And what does it say? It says, the Indian mongoose has all the courage and cunning to devour even its most deadly enemies, unless they're meerkats. Those in the know choose Mongoose, the premium beer at its best. So they've brewed this, that they've killed cute little mongooses and made beer with them. Brewed and bottled in the United Kingdom by Wells and Young's Brewing Company Limited. Bedford. I used to live near Bedford. Not a particularly wonderful town. Didn't go out there. Let's upset everyone in Bedford. I don't like your town. It's not actually true. There are some nice bits. I like the walk down the river in Bedford. So what is it then? It looks like a lager. I'm going to guess that they're all lager. Or pale ale. Who cares? There you go. Fermented mongoose beer. What's it taste like? Here I'm not going to go into great detail. I don't know the technical terms. You talk about this full body. That to me means just someone who's eaten too much. A lot. Lager. There's what can I possibly tell you about that? Words do not ever do justice to a beer. It's 5% alcohol by volume, I guess, contains malted barley. It's lager. The fact that it's got a mongoose on the thing is completely irrelevant. The fact that it's Indian is irrelevant, especially seeing as it's brewed in Britain. It's inoffensive. I could drink quite an amount of it. That's the thing, if on a hot day, if I want a beer, I'm going to talk about my taste in booze now for a bit. I've got other things I want to talk about as well, but I'm going to start off talking about my taste in booze. On a hot day, if I want something refreshing, I will drink lager. And I used to think I was quite fussy. These days I'm like, I don't give a crap. If it's wet and got a bit of alcohol in it and is around the 4%, 5 at a push, I'll drink pretty much anything. The best lager I ever tasted was actually Castlemaine 4X on draft. I quite like it in cans, but I had it on draft in this pub in a little village called Deanshanger. On the Northamptonshire-Buckinghamshire border, where I grew up. And I don't know if they'd made it wrong, because I never tasted it like that again, but you could taste the barley. And I really liked it. It was like you could actually... normally you drink a lager and it's kind of a tangy, pleasant taste, but you couldn't say what it was made of. But this thing, you could. It tasted of barley, and I really liked it. And you could taste the yeast as well. It probably hadn't fermented properly. You know, it probably was wrong. But I didn't care. I loved it. Yeah, and generally if I'm going to pubs... Actually, no, if I'm drinking at home, and I'm going to drink quite a few cans, bottles, whatever, I will drink lager. I suppose my favourite is 4X. I like... I mean, 4X is meant to be Australian. Now that I know people in Australia, I can ask, do Australians drink 4X, or is it just some bullshit branding thing that they slap on it for us English people who weren't once in a position to ask, do Australians drink that? I like 4X more than I like Foster's. But I do like to try your funky, weird beers, you know, your ales and stuff. I'll try all kinds of real beers. If I'm in a pub and they've got some funky ale, I'll drink that in preference to some mass-produced thing, just to see what it tastes like. I once drank this thing called Headbanger. It was a real ale. They had it in the Volts Bar in Stony Stratford, and it tasted like, well, it was kind of sweet. It kind of tasted a bit like you would think that snakebite would taste like. There was a bit of ciderish flavour, a bit of lagerish flavour, but it wasn't snakebite. But whatever the hell it was, I drank 1 pint of it and I was wrecked, absolutely hammered. It was uber strong. It is interesting because what I don't like is your strong lagers. I won't touch things like Special Brew and Tennant Super and all of that god awful stuff. I mean, to me, they're just... They're drinks for teenagers and young 20-something yobs who want to get pissed and go out and fight. They're fighting beers for yobs. They're not beers for people who like beer, because you can't taste anything. It's just alcohol. And I think, well, if you just want to get hammered, drink whiskey. But I do love Guinness. If I go to a pub, I'll drink Guinness, because I don't go to pubs to get drunk. I used to, as a teen. If I went to the pub, it meant getting mullered. I don't do that anymore. I can't get mullered on beer anymore anyway. So yeah, go to a pub, I'll drink Guinness. If I do want to get hammered, I mean, some of you will have heard me get hammered on that Shenmue video. Oh my god. Yes, if I want to get absolutely hammered, I will drink whiskey, and I will enjoy it very much. Brandy at a push. That brandy was my drink of choice for quite a long while, but not anymore. I found a taste for whiskey, and that's it. And I mean, I don't care about the brand of whiskey. I know there are like good whiskies, and I suppose single malt is the elitist thing. I don't know which would be a good one and which wouldn't, but I'm like, I don't care. I like Bell's. It's the Ford Fiesta of whiskies, you know. You know what you're going to get. It's reliable. It's consistent. There's nothing special about it, but it does what it's meant to do, and it's reasonably pleasant doing it. But I have... No. Have I tasted a whiskey that I don't like? Yes, I have. I don't like Jack Daniels, and I don't like Jim Beam. Which is not to say that I don't like bourbon type whiskies. Generally I am a Scotch drinker, but I've tried what the hell's it called? Maker's Mark, and that's gorgeous. I really like that. But yes, wine, I don't know diddly about wine. I like red, I like white, I don't like rosé. I'll drink a bottle and get happy. It's weird actually, wine. A bottle is not quite enough, but 2 bottles is too much. But I generally don't drink wine. Partly because it's only something that I drink when we go out. Andrea and I, when we go on holiday, if we've got somewhere where there's a meal as part of the fee, we'll get a bottle of wine. Andrea will drink a glass, or she'll have a glass and drink about half of it, because she doesn't really drink. So she'll drink half of her glass, and then I'll drink the other half of her glass and the rest of the bottle, because, you know, it's paid for, waste not, want not. She doesn't want more than her half glass, so I'll drink the rest. And then it's like, yeah, it's not enough. But to have another bottle would be too much. So I don't drink wine very much anyway. Yeah, sounds awful. It is actually kind of, if you're a drinker and you live with someone who doesn't drink, it's kind of tricky, because I know from my own personal experience, I hate being around drunk people when I'm sober. They piss me off so much. Drunk people are really bloody annoying when you're sober. And of course Andrea doesn't drink, so if I decide to get drunk, I know I'm going to be an annoying bastard and she's going to be sober. So I don't drink very much because I don't want to annoy her, and it would be annoying. I mean, she is an incredibly tolerant woman and doesn't ever have a go when I'm pissed and being a twat. You know, very, very tolerant, but I don't want to be that annoying twit. So that's me and booze then. I'm not drinking this with the intention of getting drunk. You're not going to see drunken Benway sitting here ranting in front of the camera. It seemed like, here are these unusual beers, let's have a drink on camera. But I did come on here with an intention of talking about something else as well, which I will now talk about. It's kind of a video response to a video Kuan, TheSymbianFreak, did quite recently, in which he talks about how there are some channels where you will get these annotations at the end saying click favourite, click like, click blah blah, comment, thingy, share it with your friends, all that crap. You will have seen them, and he finds it annoying and ineffective. People who are going to click like or click favourite or comment are going to do it anyway. Telling them to do it is not going to make anyone do it who wasn't going to do it anyway. So what you're actually doing is annoying everyone. That's his view. I actually totally agree with him. I know there are some people who don't see the benefit of the like, clicking the like thing. And I did a video about that quite recently, explaining how it is actually quite beneficial from a promotional point of view of the channel concerned. And for some people it's just nice to know that their video is liked. But it is a useful promotional tool. But at the end of the day, telling people to do it doesn't help. Explaining the benefit of it, I think, was it worthwhile? I don't know actually. It didn't really, on that one video it made a difference. It got like, masses of likes. But then it all goes back to normal. So maybe there was no benefit in doing that at all, but it was a worthwhile experiment to see if it would help. Anyway, what all of this got me thinking about was a pet peeve of mine that I've only just developed. It's not a long time peeve, it's a recent one. And I have tweeted about this. If you're not on Twitter, I thoroughly recommend using Twitter. It's not initially obvious when you first use Twitter why it is so fantastic, but it gets better with use. The more you use it, the more people you follow on relevant topics, if you're picky about who you follow and don't just follow all the celebrities, which is a pointless thing to do, because who gives a shit what colour toilet paper they use. Anyway, yeah, if you're selective and you find a good bunch of people to follow who talk about things you're interested in, Twitter is fantastic. And then getting people who follow you and interacting, it becomes like a whopping I haven't drunk that much. It becomes like a whopping great big chat room. It's very interactive. You can have real-time conversations on there, albeit in short sentences. So it's quite like IRC in a way, which I used to love. But I'm digressing badly. I've forgotten what I was saying, so back to the point. My pet peeve. You will see big channels who at the end of the video say, do a video response. They actively invite it. And indeed for some of them, part of their weekly or daily or bi-weekly or whatever video is responding to a video response. I'm talking there about, who the hell am I, what's his name? Thingy, William Ray Johnson. You know, he has his comment question of the week. And then you have got one of the other ones I'm talking about is, what's her name? Thingy, girl with boobs. Miss Hannah Minks. And then there's that other one that I've only recently come across. Hey, I'm Millie. Yeah. Very often openly invites video responses. I see that video responses are a very useful way of promoting a channel. If you get little channels, lots and lots and lots and lots of them doing video responses, the viewers of those channels will go along and see the video that's being responded to. So the big channel benefits a bit if they get a mass response. The little channel benefits a bit because some, and let's be honest, it ain't many, of the viewers of the big channel will look at the video responses. That's how it works, or is supposed to work. It's like a deal. It's a trade. You give me some of your viewers, I'll give you some of mine. Cool. And that works in all areas of the YouTube community, if you like. Video responses are a trade. Cool. What pisses me off is when you get a big channel that invites video responses and then doesn't accept them, or doesn't accept them for days upon days upon days. This has happened to me 3 times now. I've done 3 video responses in the past week with my Isambard channel. Some of you may have watched them, you'll have seen them. To be fair about the Hey It's Millie one, there was no specific invitation for a video response on the one that I responded to, so excusable. They asked for them on most of the videos, they didn't ask on that one, so my video response wasn't accepted. You know, I can let that go. Ray William Johnson, I responded to one of his videos and never mind not being accepted, he completely shut off all comments on that video, so anyone who made a response just shat all over. And the other one was, Miss Hannah Minks. Now, she actually has accepted my video response. It took 4-5 days to do it. 400,000 viewers who could potentially have seen my response but haven't because it took that long to respond. I understand these people have lives. They can't sit there all day clicking accept on their video responses. But to invite responses and then not accept them, when very often they actually will get the traffic from those responses regardless, if I tend to link to them in the text crap below. Maybe I just shouldn't do that. So they gain the traffic and the exposure and the attention, but then don't give any back by either not accepting the response or accepting it days later when the bulk of the traffic is gone, so that the person who's done the response gets very little benefit from it. That pisses me off. It's not sticking to the deal, in my eyes. I don't know. I don't know if, or is it part of being a big channel that you get blasé? Is it just that they're not paying attention? Is it that they're so busy that they don't have time? Or are they just selfish bastards? I don't know. Here's the thing. It is not for me to say what they should do. I'm very, very, very anti anyone on here, or in many walks of life, but particularly on YouTube, very anti anyone saying you should do this, they should do that. I think, no, bollocks. It's not for anyone to say what anyone should do, but it is okay to say, that pisses me off. And that pisses me off. To invite a video response means someone is going to go to some amount of time and effort. All they've got to do is click a bloody button. To wait days to click that button, if at all, is not sticking to the deal, and it pisses me off. I think that's all I've got to say on that. It will be interesting to see, actually, now that Miss Hannah Minx has accepted my video response. I mean, looking at her videos, she gets about 1 million views over the course of a couple of weeks. So there's probably going to be another 500-600 potential people looking at her video who might look at the video responses. It will be interesting to gauge, 2 weeks from now, how much traffic have I got from doing that response. Views, I checked the number of views. You know, this camera should have beeped by now and said I've finished. I've got 2 minutes left. Yeah, I checked the number of views on that video of mine before recording this, and it was at 318 views. So in 2 weeks, any views that have come in will most likely have come from her, from her viewers. It will be interesting to see how much difference it makes. Kind of a little experiment. And I'm watching all the other ones really closely. I mean, I'm very enthusiastic about this Isambard channel. Actually promoting him on this channel was a good thing, because it went from 20 viewers or 20 subscribers to 120, and I do feel he's got an awful lot of potential, but getting noticed now with all YouTube's changes is really bloody hard, as I've said before. Good Lord, that wasn't me, that was someone else. Yeah, which is why I'm doing the video responses. I want him to get noticed, I want him to be successful. I'm going through all the conventional, if somewhat tedious channels to get it done by doing video responses. If that doesn't work, I will stop doing it, because they're kind of diluting the quality, I think, of his stuff. I don't know, we'll see. I'm kind of making it up as I go along and experimenting and seeing what works and what doesn't, but I really like the character and I want him to be successful. I think he has the potential. He also has the potential to upset a few people. I know not everyone likes him, but that's to be expected. Yeah, I'm trying to think what I can compare this to. I'm probably going to run out of time and not have time to tell you anyway. It's typical lager. It's not unpleasant, but it's not special. The fact that it's Indian, well, based on an Indian recipe, completely irrelevant. It's just lager. I think that will do. I brought down more SD cards because I thought I'm going to get hammered and ramble on like an idiot, but I haven't done that, so I don't need the extra SD cards. that one's going to run out now, so I shall shut up. Thank you for watching. I'll finish this now. You still there? Why?